Hello everyone. So welcome to the Relational Database Management System subject. So in the today's session we will see about extended ER features. The extended ER features are specialization, generalization and aggregation. Let us discuss one by one in detail. Specialization. Top-down design. It's a top-down design process. We designate subgrouping within an entity set that are distinctive from other entities in the set. These subgrouping becomes lower level entity sets that have attributes or participate in relationship that do not apply to the higher level entity set, depicted by a triangle component labeled ISA, that is instructor is a ISA is a person. Okay. Attribute inheritance. A lower level entity set inherits all the attributes and relationship participation of the higher level entity set to which it is linked. Specialization ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಟಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಸಬ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಿಂಗ್ಸಿಗೆ ಸೊ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ಹೈಯರ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸನ್ನು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್, that is employee and student, and disjoint sense instructor and secretary. So whereas overlapping andre, see here employee and student, where it is a person can be mentioned with these things, where if you have disjoint property in the sense instructor and secretary, so this is how the it's a separately. Okay, there is no common things, whereas in employee and students there is a common thing. Specialization example, the representation of specialization via the schemas. There are some methods. The first method, form a schema for a higher level entity. So what you have to do, first you have to draw a schema for a higher level entity, that is what a person. Then for schema for each lower level entity set, include primary key of a higher level entity set and local attributes. For example, there are the person, student and employee are the higher level schemas and their respective attributes: ID, name, street, city, then ID comma total credit points, ID comma salary regarding the employee. Then what is the drawback of in this method is, getting information about an employee requires accessing the two relations. It means about the employee, if you wanted to access then employee as well as person, two relations you have to extract to get the whole information about the employee. The one corresponding to the low level schema and one corresponds to the high level schema. Thus we have a second method to overcome that drawback. So in a second method, form a schema for each entity set with all the local and inherited attributes, whereas in this method we have used only the common elements for respected to student as well as employee, not all the attributes we have mentioned over here. In a second method we mention all the attributes for all the entities. But what is the drawback of this method? Name, street, city may be stored redundantly for the people who are both students as well as employee. If they are the employee as well as a student, then it repeatedly stores. The redundancy becomes a problem in a method too. Then we have, so this is what we are having as an, these are two methods which we are having a representation of specialization. Next we have a generalization. Generalization is a bottom up process, bottom up design process, whereas specialization is a top down design process. In a bottom up design process, we combine a number of entity sets that share the same features into a higher level entity set. Specialization and generalization are the simple versions of each other and they are represented in a ER diagram in the same way. The terms specialization and generalization are used interchangeably. Okay, completeness constraint will be the constraint in this one, that specifies whether or not an entity in a higher level entity set must belong to the at least one of the lower level entity set within the generalization. Total, an entity must belong to one level or the lower level entity set. Partially, an entity need not to be belong to one of the lower level entity sets. Okay. So then partial generalization is default. We can specify total generalization in a ER diagram by adding the keyword total in a diagram and drawing a dashed line from the keyword to the corresponding hollow arrowhead to which it applies for a total generalization, or to set of a hollow arrowhead to which it applies for overlapping generalization. So whether you have to use a arrowhead which is for a hollow over arrowhead will be total generalization, and then just a hollow arrowhead, set of hollow arrowheads for the overlapping generalization. The student generalization is a total. All the student entities must be either graduate or undergraduate, because the higher level entities set arrived at through generalization is generally composed of only those entities in a lower level entity set. The completeness constraint for a generalized higher level entity is usually total, but by default what it will be there? It is a partial generalization. Next method is a aggregation. Aggregation is to consider the ternary relationship like a project guide which we saw earlier. Suppose we want to record the evaluations for the student by the guide project report. See here the ternary project. Ternary relationship is a project guide, whereas instructor, project and student, three relations were involved in it. Similarly, evaluation for also having a three relationship. Then aggregation will be relationship set evaluation for on project guide represents the overlapping information, of course, right? So every evaluation for the relationship corresponds to project guide relationship. However, some project guide relationship may not be correspond to any evaluation for the relationship. So we can't discard the project guide relationship. Eliminate this redundancy via aggregation. How? In the sense to treat the relationship as an abstract entity, allow the relationship between the relationship and abstract of a relationship into a new entity. Okay. So eliminate their redundancy via aggregation without introducing the redundancy. The following diagram represents as, okay, see here. So in the previous diagram we have, this is the redundancy, okay, whereas student and instructors were involved into it. So this will be written in this form, whereas the whole will be a relationship for that aggregated and for that evaluation for the evaluation. Okay, the student is guided by the particular instructor on a particular project, and student instructor project combination may have association evaluation. Okay, the limitations for a ER model are no relationship may be defined between the an entity type and relationship type. Okay, so no relationship may be defined between a entity type and collection of entity types from which any one type may participate. For example, entity type 1 policyholder may be individual and multiple individuals, one organization or many organization of entity type 2. Okay, what happens here? So there are many things, then we could not able to draw a relationship, and no constraint like a exclusive and coexistence etc. among relationship type, right? NIEM model UML class diagram allows them. So instead of this ER model, so you can use a UML diagrams to overcome all these limitations. How do we map a ER diagram to the extended ER model? There are the following steps we are having. The step 1, entity type, map a entity types. First you have to map the entity type. Second, map weak entity type, and then draw identification from the parent entity type into the weak entity type. So whenever it is a weak entity type, then there is a parent entity from where it has been extracted. So map a relationship type. Okay, so then mapping cardinality will be 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to 1. Okay, so you have to follow these 3 cardinalities. And then step 6, map the multivalued attribute set. Set up a new relation for the multivalued attribute. Illenagutte multivalued attribute ge ಬೇರೆ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. and map a higher order relationship, for example ternary and four ways, each higher order relationship becomes a separate relation. Okay, and in a step 8, mapping of generalization hierarchies and set a subset relationship, possibility of collapsing into one relation versus as many relations as the number of distinct classes. So in this way you can map to the any ER model to the extended ER model. Let us see the whatever we have discussed it now. Every entity, weak entity set can be converted into a strong entity set by doing what? You can make it weak entity as a strong entity. Yes, of course, in a previous class also we have discussed regarding this. That is what? Adding appropriate attributes. Yes, generalization is a top down answer. Is it true? Generalization is a bottom up. Which one is top down approach? Yes, specialization is a top down approach. Redundancy can be reduced by generalization, specialization, aggregation. Yes, aggregation will help you to redundancy, where in the generalization second specialization method 2 has redundancy which will be overcoming in a aggregation. Thank you so much. These are the references which I have used for this class.